This is the one question I ask every man to see how he really thinks about a woman. Whatever the answer says everything you need to know about his conscience. Okay, are you ready? This is the question you ask. If you were a girl, what kind of girl do you think you would be? You'd be shocked. Every single man I've asked this question all have the same answer, low-key. There was like one or two that's like, okay. Majority? All have the same answer.
If you say the wrong answer to this question, women are going to be pissed with you. I thought it was reasonably obvious that this is just a test, and she's fishing for validation, like the right answer is a woman like you. I thought it was pretty straightforward, but then I saw comments like this. My boyfriend said, I choose to be you. Oh, I guess it's a win. He doesn't seem that happy, and I was confused. Like, is that not the right answer? Because if that's not it, then what is the right answer? And I'll admit, this hooked me in, and so I started scrolling through the comments section, mapping out what are the answers that women like, and what are the answers that women hate. And I'm so glad that I did, because it reveals so much about modern women's psychology. So how would you have answered this question? Get that clear in your mind, and then wait to see when your answer comes up, and whether or not women liked it or hated it. It's really interesting. So let's start with the answers that were heavily upvoted, like the answers that women really liked. I'd be the same, but angrier. What's the reason behind your anger? Men, my husband just answered, I'd be angry. I'd be a really angry girl. I think he gets it. Okay, so big points if you are an angry woman. That's a good answer because that means that you get it. Of course you'd be angry because of men. Women love this answer. You get lots of approval. That's some quality pandering, just like this one. I'd be a managing director, but I'd be 21% less. Oh yeah, women love this answer. Really validates their sense of victimhood. Big points if you talk about the gender pay gap. You also got these answers which women loved. Once I asked him and all he replied was a lesbian. And you know what? Real. My boyfriend said he'd be a cottagecore lesbian. Green flag, I think. This one made me laugh because I think that the joke just went completely over the women's heads. Like, when men answer this question by saying lesbian, it's a joke. It's like saying, like, I'm so straight as a man. I'm so into women that even if you change my gender, I'm still going to be into women. It's like a joke. But if you read the comments, it's clear. All the women took it as, like, a political statement. I'm scanning for, like, any evidence of a sense of humor, and they're all, no, they're so serious. Men are awful. So, yeah, that's right. You'd be a lesbian because you'd understand that men are just so awful that you could only date women. Women are like, yeah, this guy gets it.
She thought she was getting a win in the divorce, but got headaches instead. We've got a video for you here today from the Modern King. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in, and let's get into it.
So I'm going through a divorce.
Right.
And the other day,
You initiated it.
I had to humble myself and tell my ex that I am no longer able to afford my lawyer.
Brokey.
And I need to just surrender to whatever happens. And these last couple of weeks, he's been a little bit nicer. So I figured
Okay.
by me being vulnerable, he would maybe have a heart.
Why should her ex have a heart when it comes to the divorce? She was the one who initiated it. He doesn't have to show her any sympathy simply because she couldn't afford the lawyer that she was going to use to strip him of everything she possibly could.
And then today, he tells me that my car, it's in his name.
Right.
The only car that I have to transport my kids to school, our kids. The car that I need to get to work, that I pay for every month, that if I can't refinance and put it in my name, that he's going to sell it
Wow.
because it's in his name.
You don't want that on his credit.
My credit score is bad,
You want his to be bad?
and he knows this. And so when I asked him, how do you expect me to do that with my credit score? And he says, I don't have an answer for you.
She should have thought about that before filing for divorce. She didn't have any money. She has a terrible credit score, and she's trying to get custody of the kids. And once things get bad, she expects to get help from the very same man that she's trying to destroy in divorce court.
Reaction, 50K to cousins, post a caption, pray none of my enemies hold me captive. I grieve different.
Alrighty, ladies, gentlemen, and those who walk the lines in between. On today's episode, we have the whorish adventures of Wonder Womb and the inescapable Coochie Clench, where a 19-year-old woman gave birth to twins, and a paternity test later revealed that each twin had a different father. Why, you may ask? It is because Wonder Womb was getting her meat tenderized by two separate men only hours apart.
Imagine being one of those twins and finding out that they don't have the same father as their other twin. That kind of information can really mess with a kid's head and have a severe impact on their lives.
And so God punished her by making her release two eggs which were fertilized on the same night. Homeskillets, are we truly grasping what we just read here? Okay. This woman engaged in a level of horror so intense that it literally pushed the bounds of science. Okay. Wonder Womb was doing things with monks.
What makes it worse is because this is a medical rarity, it's going to be studied, and those twins are going to be at the center of it with the knowledge that their mother was being a 304. That's just adding insult to injury to two innocent lives.
That were so out of this world that it literally caused a cosmic shift in both time and space. Could you imagine how angry the Semen Sorcerer Supreme, aka Bonnie Blue, was when she read this shit? She was probably saying something like, bloody hell, I took 1,000 in my in one day, and I couldn't have something like this. Why? I don't know what she'd be on. But, like, listen, gents.
Come to think of it, the mother is probably going to get an insane amount of attention and an inappropriate amount of support from other 304s on TikTok who are going to convince her she's so brave for this whole mess. She's not brave, she's just irresponsible.
Women are the reason for 60% of divorces, and honestly, I believe it.
It's very true. Most divorces are, in fact, initiated by women.
Because men will ignore you for years and then act confused when you finally leave. Like, don't play dumb. She didn't wake up and decide she was done. She told you 1,000 times what was wrong, and you brush it off every single time.
Now, I understand that this post is supposed to be about how men are the problem in marriages, but a lot of individuals like to conveniently leave out the fact, and yes, it is a fact, that women married to women actually have the highest divorce rates of all.
If you listen to womanists try to explain the lesbian divorce rates, they will still use word salad to try and say that men are to blame for those divorces as well, because when it comes to marriage, men are always seen as the devil incarnate for some reason.
So is it really men that are the problem?
One thing about women, we'll stay until the very last straw. We'll explain it, we'll cry about it, we'll try to fix it, and you still sit there acting clueless.
Well, if that was actually true, then women married to women would actually have the longest lasting relationships, wouldn't they?
And when she finally fast, suddenly, it's, where did it come from? It came from you not listening. That's why most women file for divorces.
Okay, sure. But in my opinion, a lot of women, not all, file for divorce because they simply aren't happy. And there's a lot of women that would rather just get divorced than work on the problem.
This idea that husbands just ignore their nagging wives makes no sense. A nagging wife disrupts his peace, and men will do a lot to try and make their wives happy and to keep the home peaceful. But in the eyes of a nagging wife, nothing her husband does is ever going to be good enough.
Poor Gazelle, he isn't gonna make it.
If that Gazelle lives, I'll let you go out with the guys. What the hell?
The frustrating part is how she's saying that she'll let him go out with his friends. It's crazy how some of these women think they hold dominion over his time and plans to the point where he's not allowed to do anything without her authorization. And it's never the other way around, of course, even when the woman is doing something completely ridiculous.
If I hear another joke about a female loneliness epidemic, I will laugh my off. You guys were given 1 ounce of freedom, told you guys can be content creators, you can be fitness influencers, and most of you jumped immediately to doing porn. You guys didn't even fail college. You didn't fail a business first. Like most people go, I need to be a stripper to pay for college. No, you guys were like, I'm gonna turn 18 and do only yay, but now I can't find a husband, and then you're crying about it. I just don't get it.
Modern women weren't given an ounce of freedom, quote unquote. In most Western countries, women have significantly more rights than men, and they have had those rights for a very long time. But they still act like they're the ones that somehow fought for those rights when they did literally nothing.
Any other girls get offended when, like, ugly men try to approach you? I'm saying that with my full chest, yeah.
This right here is a clear sign of a woman you want to avoid as a man. They say they're high value, but high value women don't belittle people. They don't rank men like products, and they don't walk around offended by a human interaction. Just remember, the girls who scream the loudest about ugly men approaching them are always the ones with the weakest character that you should really try hard to avoid. The women you want are the ones who won't judge you for approaching, they'll judge you by your heart and the man you're trying to become.
In the eyes of a modern woman, a man is only seen as ugly if she thinks he's unattractive or if he rejects her, and they honestly think that calling Chad ugly is somehow the ultimate insult, but most men don't care what these women think when it comes to men's appearances.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I
I was just watching the video where you denied me, and holy sh**. Have you read those comments? And I'll tell you, those comments were dead on. I mean, that is how I feel inside. I mean, it's not all the time, but, you know, I get over it very quickly.
Maybe you should go get a counselor.
I don't need one. I mean, I self-counsel,
Well,
but
this is not why.
my God.
This is not why I was.
I know, but I was
coming
reading
here
them.
today.
For context, she recorded a video of him where she shamed him for wanting intimacy. He's expressing to her how small it made him feel, and all she can do is shame him some more. She's making this man's life hell, and she couldn't care less about him.
When I was coming here today, is I got a Delaney game, and I have some shelves that I need to have hung in the bedroom, and so I was wondering if you could take care of those while I was
Well,
gone.
absolutely. Just give me a list of everything you want me to do. Make a list, and I'll check them off one by one. As soon as you leave, I'll get on it, and I'll just motor through that list. And by the time you get back, you'll be coming home to a different house.
I would love that. That would
Okay,
be
you make the
great.
list, and I'll take care of it.
It's the box in the bedroom.
This woman doesn't have a loving bone in her body. Not only did she emasculate her husband online, she also has the nerve to tell him that he must spend his day building crap for her in the house. It's absolutely shameless what this woman is doing to her husband.
That big, giant, heavy box?
Big, giant, heavy box. There's
Absolutely.
two
I love
shelves.
big, giant, heavy boxes.
I was not expecting this follow-up video. I mean, that man is just telling her as it is. And honestly, I think that this man is now like standing on more steady ground where he has a bunch of people that have actually validated his issues with what she was doing. And as he should, he is standing tall and voicing it to her. But her response to hearing his feelings is completely dismissive.
If there's anything good to come out of this disaster, it's how people on the internet actually sided with the husband instead of his wife. No wonder why she's so bitter with him. She was banking on the internet to side with her and shame him even more.
And in her next breath, she's asking him to do her a bunch of favors. It is very obvious to me that this is a man that chooses to be happy through any and everything. At the end of this video, he is still smiling and laughing. But this is the trap that a lot of happy-go-lucky men fall into because in the end all, their feelings are dismissed. They're not really heard. What's tough about that is that if their feelings aren't heard on anything, that's not going to result in anything ever really changing. And I would argue that type of person is the one that is most deserving because he's willing to put his own feelings aside in order to keep things happy in the relationship. Which is why it needs to be his woman's priority to make sure that his feelings are being considered.
The whole idea of happy wife, happy life is completely pointless. These guys will do anything to keep the peace. The problem is that wives like these hate their husbands so much that they will do everything they can to disrupt that peace just for the satisfaction.
Jake was right, because it looked like you painted that garage with a Sharpie. And let me know who's gonna have to fix this, because I believe Jake is about to get gaslit.
Not only is that a horrific paint job, it's also incredibly disrespectful. Her husband said no, and she did it anyway. If the situation was reversed, she would be looking into divorce by now. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.